I've been hearing a lot of complaints that there's not any brand new XDefiant content. Everyone is just dying to see what does Buckeye have to say about XDefiant here in the last couple of weeks. Let's be real here, not a single person said that, and it's okay, but I'm a little sad about that. But that's okay because we're back today with the XDG Super Mega Serious XD weapon tier list. If you want to know where I put your favorite weapon on this list, then make sure to give this video a like. Can we get to 200? All right, guys, let's get right into this. Welcome to XDefiant Guides. All right, it's time for the XDG Super Mega Serious XD weapon tier list. If you guys are excited for this list, make sure to subscribe. Our top tier is going to be Yeetus Deletus. And the reason for that is because when you use this weapon, you're just going Yeetus Deletus on the enemies. You know what I mean? Right here. Yeah, right here. This will be the Yeetus Deletus category right there. We got to give our line here. The next category is going to be the solid category. This is for guns that are just very solid. And then the next category is going to be the I don't know category. Okay, now we're gonna go to the category of we're just here so we don't get fined. Let me know in the comments if you understand that reference. Okay, and then our last category here, just bad. Beautiful, looking good. Oh man, this is gonna be fantastic. Okay, we're gonna start off with guns that I have a little less experience with, so we're gonna start off with the pistols here in XDefiant. All right, we're gonna start things off here with the 686 Magnum. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even used this gun. I've never even touched it, so unfortunately we're gonna have to put it right here in the we're just here so we don't get fined category, because it is in fact a weapon in XDefiant, but I've never actually used it, so I can't say anything about it. Okay, the next weapon in the pistols category is the M1911, and simply put, I also have not used the M1911. Okay, next up is the D50, and I also have not used the D50. If you guys couldn't come up with a pattern here, I really didn't use many of the pistols in any of the times we've gotten to play this game so far. Okay, we'll just speed through the rest of this here as you guys can kind of understand. Now, there is one pistol that I've used so far, and it is the M9, and I think that this is a gun that pretty much, I think it's like a default on everybody's loadouts. I could be wrong, but this is the one I use the most. And actually, as far as a sidearm pistol is concerned, this weapon was completely usable. And I'm gonna put the M9 in the solid category. This is a pistol that if you need to use it, you're not going to be completely out of luck. Like, you actually have an opportunity to get some kills with this gun. All right, we're gonna move on to the sniper rifles category here in XDefiant. Now, admittedly as well, I have a limited amount of experience with the snipers in XDefiant, but I did use a little bit of the TAC 50. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually did enjoy using that gun. So for me, I'm going to put the TAC 50 in the solid category. Okay, now the other sniper rifle in XDefiant is the M44. I did not touch the M44. We're just here so we don't get fined category. Okay, now we're gonna get into the marksman rifles, and we're just gonna fly through this right now because I haven't used either of the marksman rifles. You guys probably shouldn't take my advice when it comes to the weapons. Okay, time for the LMGs in XDefiant. All right, so this part is going to be super serious. No, it's not. I haven't used any of these LMGs either. Speed run. We have a very heavy category here in our tier list. This is very fun. Okay, now it's time to jump over to the SMG category. Now we're gonna get to some guns that I'm very familiar with. Here's the thing, I'm not much of a sniper, and I'm not much of a LMG kind of player. I like to run and gun and really get up in people's business, so that's why I haven't had much experience with these other weapons. However, I have used every single one of these other guns. All right, first one is the Vector. Now listen, I'm a huge fan of the Vector, right? In Black Ops 2, the Vector was one of my favorite weapons. I always appreciate it when a Vector is included in an FPS, and I'm very appreciative that it's here in XDefiant. But I'm gonna be honest, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if the Vector is it here in XDefiant. It's one of those guns where if you hit all of your shots, it's very deadly, but it's got a really fast fire rate and it's got a low magazine size. Now, admittedly, I didn't put a ton of time into the Vector, but what I did, it was enjoyable. It was a good time, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. All right, let's move on now to the P90. Now, this is, for a lot of people, their favorite gun in XDefiant. They absolutely love the P90. Low damage output, high fire rate, and a relatively good size magazine makes for a very good run and gun style SMG. I'm gonna put it here in the solid category. I don't think it is the greatest. It's not my personal favorite, but it is a very good weapon, and I think it definitely deserves to be in the solid category. All right, now the next one here is the MP7, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as far as SMGs are concerned, I'm gonna spoil it, all right? Spoiler alert. The MP7 is my favorite SMG in XDefiant, and without a doubt, it absolutely goes in the yeetus deletus category, because the second you load up the MP7, you're gonna go around and you're gonna catch people in the back, you're gonna drop some rounds, and you're gonna get some kills. The MP7 is the perfect weapon if you love to run and gun in XDefiant, maybe run around with an echelon faction and use your invis and kind of get around corners and get behind people. I'm telling you right now, the MP7 is yeetus deletus. All right, the next one, people really do love this gun as well. It is the MP5, and I'm gonna be honest, this gun is a bit of a hit or miss for me. I either really love it or I have a really difficult time with it. So I can't put it in my yeetus deletus category. It's a very, very good gun, but for me, I'm gonna have to put it in the solid category because it's not the greatest, but it can really do the job. It can really tear some enemy players up. It's a very, very good gun, and for some people, it would be in the yeetus deletus category, but you gotta remember, this is my tier list. Okay, this is the XDG Super Mega Serious XD weapon tier list, all right? And in this tier list, the MP5 is solid. All right, it's time to get into the assault rifles here in XDefiant. This is probably the category that I spent maybe the most amount of time using, to be honest with you, in our time on XDefiant so far. So this is where we're going to start with things. We're going to start off with the M16. Listen, I'm probably going to make a lot of people scratch their heads with this, and that's okay, because I think that the M16, it's gonna go down here in the I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. It is it's just one of those guns where it can be used really, really well and effectively, but it is very much limited to its style of weapon. Basically, I'm pretty sure you can two-shot headshot with this weapon if you just simply get 2 bursts into somebody's head and it's a kill, but you're pretty much limited to mid to long range gunfights with this M16. So unless that's how you really like to play, I don't think this gun is necessarily for you, and for me, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really like to play that slow, long-range gunfight kind of play. I just don't really like doing that. So for me, the M16 is good, but it's not good enough to be in my solid category. Now, I'll tell you what is good enough for me. I'll tell you what, it's the M4A1, and I've been saying this for a while now. The M4A1 is probably my favorite weapon in XDefiant, and it's absolutely gonna go in my yeetus deletus category. This gun is so freaking good. It's versatile. You can set it up to have a lot of movement and run around the map like a crazy guy. You can set up your M4 to run around like you're running with an SMG, and it has really good close range and medium range. And if you've got good recoil control, you can also hit some long shots as well with this gun. The M4 is a really, really good time. I love the fire rate. I love the way that the weapon handles. It's a good time. It's literally my favorite gun in the game. Right now, the next one up is the AK-47. And I think, admittedly, I think this is a gun that I have a limited amount of experience with. I didn't play with it a ton. I played with it a good bit in the open beta back in June, but I didn't touch it in the PTS. And I just don't think that I gave the gun a fair enough shot. Now, what I've seen from other people is that this gun can be used really, really well. And if you can control recoil, the gun absolutely shreds. So with that being said, I think it is absolutely reasonable to put the AK-47 in the solid category. I don't think it's a yeetus deletus tier weapon, but I think that you can absolutely shred and do really, really well if the AK-47 is in your hands in XDefiant. So it's going to be in my solid category. Okay, now the next assault rifle in XDefiant that I want to put on here in the tier list is going to be everyone's absolute favorite, and you already know it's going to go in the yeetus deletus category. It is the ACR. Dude, the ACR is such an absolute powerhouse in this game. What I really love about XDefiant is, yes, the ACR is probably the best gun in XDefiant, but if you don't use the ACR, you're not at a disadvantage. You can use these other guns and you'll be just fine. It's just that the ACR is so freaking good. The damage output per round is so fantastic. The limited recoil, the ability to get really good long shots with this gun, it is a good time. The ACR, I think, is absolutely far and away the best weapon in XDefiant, and it's probably the majority of people's favorite gun. Let me know in the comments, do you agree? Is this your favorite gun in XDefiant? Okay, now, a weapon that was introduced in the public test session was the MDR. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, really liked the MDR because it seemed to kind of dominate that medium range gunfights, and that's what I actually really love playing. I'm not super duper about being right up close and personal, but I also don't really like playing long range. I like the medium style gunfights that you get, and for me, the MDR absolutely fit that bill. I really, really loved using the MDR, and honestly, I can't put it in my Yeetus Deletus category. It has to go in the solid category, but that gun is really good, and I think maybe with more time on it, I think maybe it could bump up into that Yeetus Deletus category for me. I'm not sure yet, but right now it's definitely a solid gun. Okay, now we have our absolute final tier, our final category of weapons, and it's gonna be the shotguns in XDefiant. You may be a little shocked about what I'm about to say, but the double barrel shotgun is absolutely a Yeetus Deletus style weapon in XDefiant. If you use this gun properly, all right, listen, you use this gun properly, XDefiant has a good bit of movement in the game, and if you can master the ability to slide around and do some crazy things with your movement on the map in XDefiant, and you rock the double barrel, oh man, you can shred some fools on XDefiant. This is absolutely a Yeetus Deletus tier weapon, and you can, if you disagree with me, why don't you let me know in the comments? Let's have a conversation about that, okay? I'm telling you right now, this is a good gun. And because this is such a good shotgun, if you use any of the other shotguns, talking the AA-12, yeah, no, that AA-12, it's just a bad gun. It is in the bad tier. If I could just type, it is absolutely in the just bad tier. And I'll tell you what, if you use the M870, guess what? It's also in the bad tier. You absolutely cannot use any other shotgun in this game. There's absolutely no reason to. So guess what? That is where the other two shotguns go on the tier list. This is it. This is the XDG Super Mega Serious XD Weapon tier list. Let me know in the comments down below, do you agree with this tier list? And stay tuned because we're going to be making some more tier lists talking about the factions and the maps coming up here very soon on the XDefiant Guides channel. So thank you so much for stopping by. Now here's the thing, XDefiant isn't released yet, and we have really no idea when that is actually going to be coming, but we do know that Modern Warfare 3 is coming here very, very soon, here on November 10th. And if you want to know how XDefiant is going to steal players away from Modern Warfare 3, then make sure you click this video on screen now.